Okay, so this weekend what we're doing is we're going to be upgrading the Aurora. I picked up 32 gigabytes of RAM, a 4 terabyte hard drive, a GTX 1070, and a 960 gigabyte solid state drive. So we're going to install those tonight. I've already taken the liberty of taking all the power cables out and everything, so you can just pop that guy off. This pulls down and then up. First thing we're going to be doing here is this is the 2 terabyte hard drive. So we're going to be upgrading that to this 4 terabyte enterprise drive. And then in here is where you put your 2.5 inch drives. But we're going to be putting in a 960 gigabyte SSD. And then way back there somewhere, pop those 2 tabs up, pull this out of the way. And then in there is the 8 gigabytes of RAM that this comes with, and these are 8 gigabyte modules each for 32 gigs of RAM. And then that there is the GTX 1050 that it came with, and that is the GTX 1070 that we're putting in. This one here is a 4 gigabyte card, I'm pretty sure, and this one here is 8. So 32 gigs of RAM, 8 gig GPU, 4 terabyte hard drive, and 960 gigabyte SSD. Since we have this opened, we are going to take this tray out right here. Yes, this is the SATA cable that I stole out of my old Dell. So I'm gonna plug this in, guy there. There we go, that's plugged in. You can actually see it right there. That's the M.2 slot for future upgrades. But right now we're just going with a regular SSD. Just keep things cheap. Just take this bracket that we popped out there. Okay, there we go. That one's in. Now this guy. And this one here. There we go. Super easy, one-handed. Pop it right in. Perfect. Now let's take that SATA cable and we will plug that in just like this. There we are. This case is horrible for cable management, if you haven't already noticed. This thing just kind of comes out. That's for holding different video cards. Let's pop that little thing up here. That guy right in there. Push that back, pull it straight out. All right, that's the 1050 and the 1070. Oh, it's a lot heavier. Now we can just kind of weasel this thing in here. Just like this. Perfect. That's a big boy. I'll open all of them. And up here, pop the 8 gigs out. We can start putting in the 32 gigabyte kit. There we are. Okay, so that's 8, 16, 24, 32. There we are. That's the 32 gigabytes of RAM. RAM is installed, GPU is installed, SSD is installed. Now we can close this up. That is tight. Now power cables. There we are. SSD is done. Now it's time for the hard drive. You can just take these out. Power, SATA. Pull the drive right out. Factory 2 terabyte drive. So you can just pop this 4 terabyte one in. Just like that. Plug the SATA back in. And the power. There we go. That's it. Now we just got to install Windows like we did the last time. And we are golden. I got everything installed. It's been a few more days now. So here you can see the hard drive, which is the 4 terabyte. So it's 3.63 terabyte formatted. And then here we have the solid state as the OS drive. That one there is 893 gigabyte formatted. And then here we have 32 gigabytes of RAM. So right there you can see the 32 gigabytes of RAM. All the upgrades are done. We have the 1070 running. So yeah, those are the upgrades. So that wasn't too bad. Even though the Aurora is a really difficult case to be working in, we still managed to upgrade from 8 gigabytes of RAM all the way to 32 gigabytes. We changed that 4 gigabyte GTX 1050 to an 8 gigabyte GTX 1070. We also went from no SSD to a 960 gigabyte SSD from Corsair, and then we also changed out that 2 terabyte hard drive to a 4 terabyte hard drive. So far, all the upgrades went successfully, and the computer is running significantly better than it was. So these upgrades are a must if you have one of these. They weren't that bad. We completed the whole thing in approximately 20-30 minutes from start to finish. So if you have the budget, I'd highly recommend doing these. But that's it for me, guys. I'll see you here next weekend. I have some gaming to catch up on.